And it's probably worth noting, right, especially for folks that maybe are not as tied into this industry space, it's very IP heavy, very trademark, copyright heavy. So that's a challenge, right, for the artists that you recognized in terms of these studios as well, and how to do that. Could you share a little bit more on that?
Absolutely. So, one thing that's happening constantly, we call them creators, and that's what's actually happening. There's a tremendous amount of writing, illustrating, and other graphic design, and pattern making, sewing. There's a lot going on. Excuse me. And this is happening every day. And what we also noticed as a pattern, the further the creator, even in the indie space, has gone, the higher the frequency of creations from them compared to their peers who aren't as far. And so when you look at the process, which is not too difficult, but there's some friction, and you look at the cost, when it pertains to the U.S. Copyright Office, there's going to be a tremendous amount of expense for these creators, for these independent creators, in a day's time, in a week's time, in a year's time. We looked at it and we said, one of the first steps to value is protection. I come from a security background. When things are secure, we can take those things to the next level, right? And so we said, what can we do? And so I began to understand that we could help to register and attest. And our next leg, which I'm very excited about as we complete the framework, is to really have the relationships with the USPTO, US Patent Trade Office, and the US Copyright Office to get them to see our blockchain technology, our registration technology, and security technology as a support to what they do. We want creators to pay the taxes, and they want to. We want creators to get all the necessary protections they need, and they want to. They're very, very concerned about this, and especially in a time of graphic designs that are coming to us by Chat GPT and other programs that are out there.
No, I think that's such a wonderful point that you make. And I think, that protection as well is so critical. And that also, to your point, you're helping them monetize their work, but also not just monetize it, but actually make sure they're getting their full value that they're owed for that work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's just a wonderful example. I think too, just where you look at you identified the need, you rapidly worked through some of that, and now that's the first sort of platform or leg, right, of some of the work that you guys are offering. Now you have even more though that you're working. Could you share a little bit more about then how that process follows from there?
Sure.